Prime Minister Modi takes oath as a member of the 17th Lok Sabha at the beginning of Parliament's monsoon session. Several key bills, including the Triple Talaq bill, will be introduced in this session. After 6 days of agitation, doctors in West Bengal agreed to withdraw the protest. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is forced to agree to their demands. The Supreme Court will hear a plea on doctors' safety tomorrow. SBI-led consortium of lenders to initiate bankruptcy proceedings against Jet Airways. Lenders reject concession sought by Etihad Airways. Insolvency proceedings likely to be initiated this week. Key accused in the PNB scam, Mehul Choksi, says that he is willing to appear for investigation through video conferencing. Says he's not fled the country but left for medical treatment. Trade war fears take a toll on Indian markets. Investors lose over 2 lakh crore rupees in a single day as Sensex gives away nearly 500 points. Good evening and welcome to India Watch. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. This is the show where we bring you the biggest headlines from India, the latest updates and unbiased analysis as always. As the world watches India, it's important to set the right narrative. So in the next 30 minutes, we'll bring you up to speed with India.
कि 70वीं लोकसभा में हम उसी नई ऊर्जा, नए विश्वास, नए संकल्प, नए सपनों के साथ मिलकर के आगे चले।
नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी जो लोकसभा का सदस्य निर्वाचित हुआ हूं,
The first session of the 17th Lok Sabha kicked off today. The newly elected parliamentarians took oath. This is the monsoon session. It promises to be an action-packed one. The government is expected to table the union budget. Also, several key bills are in the pipeline. Expect all of this in the coming days. Today was more about the optics. Before the session began, Prime Minister Modi spoke to the media. This was outside Parliament, and he had a message for the opposition.
लोकतंत्र में विपक्ष का होना, विपक्ष का सक्रिय होना, विपक्ष सामर्थ्यवान होना, ये लोकतंत्र की अनिवार्य शर्त है। और मैं आशा करता हूं कि प्रतिपक्ष के लोग नंबर की चिंता छोड़ दें। देश की जनता ने उनको जो नंबर दिया है, लेकिन हमारे लिए उनका हर शब्द मूल्यवान है, उनकी हर भावना मूल्यवान है। और सदन, जब हम उस चेयर पर बैठते हैं, एमपी के रूप में बैठते हैं, तब पक्ष विपक्ष से ज्यादा निष्पक्ष का स्पिरिट बहुत महत्व रखता है।
Inside Parliament, the atmosphere was festive, at least for the BJP. They have returned to power with more seats. The first MP to take oath was, of course, the Prime Minister of India. He was greeted by loud chants and a thunderous applause. Soon after, the Prime Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh took oath, but it was Smriti Irani who got the longest applause. She has defeated Rahul Gandhi in Amethi this time, the biggest upset in this general election. After taking oath, she greeted Pro Tem Speaker Virendra Kumar and opposition leaders, including UPA Chairperson Sonia Gandhi, who reciprocated. Rahul Gandhi was not there at the time. He arrived late, but minutes before taking oath, he tweeted, "This is his 4th term as Member of Parliament. His party remains in a flux It's clear that the Congress has not been able to recover from their defeat. The party is yet to take a decision on who will be its leader in Lok Sabha. A report by the Press Trust of India, PTI, has claimed that the party is yet to come up with its strategy for this session. No meeting has been held yet to discuss all of this. On the other hand, the BJP is quite clear about its plans for the monsoon session. Beyond the budget, the government plans to table a slew of key legislations. This includes the revised Triple Talaq bill. And we have breaking news coming in. An army vehicle was targeted with a vehicle bearing improvised explosive devices or IEDs today. This is in Jammu and Kashmir's Pulwama. The armoured vehicle of the 44 Rashtriya Rifles was attacked near the Arihal village of Pulwama. There is no report of any casualty yet. An encounter is still underway. The Casper vehicle got damaged in this attack. We are being joined by our correspondent Eshan Wani, who is with us from Srinagar. Eshan, what do we know about what's happening there?
Well, there's a big statement that has come from Army. Army has said that there's a vehicle-bound IED blast which happened in this particular area in South Kashmir's Pulwama district. What we also know so far is that there are injuries to at least 6 to 9 Army Jawans in this particular blast. Some of them have been referred to Srinagar's 92-base hospital for specialized treatment. But Army has termed this particular attack as a failed attack by the militants. Remember, a few days back, we reported that Pakistan had shared an intel with not only India, NSA, but also with the US that about an attack that an Al-Qaeda-based group, Ansar Ghazwatul Hind, may carry out after the elimination of Zakir Musa. So is this that particular attack which the intel was about? But now the Army is saying that this was an attack which is a failed attack, but the vehicle has been completely damaged. What we know also is that there was a gunfire exchange between the militants and the security forces when this particular blast happened. But third IED blast which has happened in Pulwama district, and a vehicle has been used to carry out that particular blast. First it was Pulwama, later on we also saw the similar strategy adapted in the Banihal blast, and now there is one more attack in Pulwama. We haven't seen any such attacks in Kashmir since a long time, but Pulwama has once again revised and challenged the security forces to really assess what is happening in the Kashmir Valley, particularly about the IEDs, which were not here in the Kashmir Valley from a long time, since there was some sort of a peace in the Kashmir Valley. But again, this will be problematic for the security forces because vehicle has been used to target an army vehicle which was passing through an area, but some of them have been referred to Srinagar Hospital for specialized treatment. The area is still under quarantine.
Right, Eshan Wani, thanks very much for that update. Still a developing situation. These are images from Pulwama, and the encounter is still on. 6 to 9 Jawans believed to be injured. No casualty reported, thankfully. Now, this is something that has been high on the BJP's political agenda, a war on black money. It was Prime Minister Modi's pre-poll pitch, that was in 2014. And then Modi had promised to recover illicit Indian money stashed in Swiss banks. His political opponents had called it an election stunt then. That was 5 years ago. Today, the Prime Minister is one step closer to fulfilling his 2014 promise. Swiss authorities are in the process of sharing details of at least 50 Indian nationals. These individuals have been issued notices in the last few weeks. They were given one last chance to appeal against sharing their data with the government of India. The common question is this: how big an issue is the money parked in Swiss banks? How much money is there? And here's the answer: nearly 7,000 crore rupees as of 2017. That's according to the official annual data released by the Swiss National Bank last year. Why were these Indian nationals targeted, you may ask? That's because the enforcement and intelligence agencies suspect wrongdoing in their accounts. They believe it's black money. It's money that has been illegally parked in Switzerland. Since 2014, India and Switzerland have agreed to exchange information on financial wrongdoing. They have signed up with the Global Automatic Exchange of Information. It's a forum for transparency. Over the last year, Switzerland has shared data of more than 100 Indians with the government here in New Delhi. There is a good chance that Switzerland will offer administrative assistance to India in the cases under scrutiny. It's clear Switzerland wants to shed the tag of being a safe haven for black money. In fact, the Swiss Federal Gazette has named some clients in this case, and this is a rarity, the naming of clients, because according to the Swiss law, full names of foreign clients are redacted due to secrecy clauses. They're mostly referred to as initials. The banks mostly use initials, but now the bank is not only naming names, the Swiss bank has also issued notices to a large number of Indians. Reports show that many of these account holders figured in HSBC and Panama lists as well. So the next question is this: why didn't the government act earlier, or more specifically, why didn't previous governments in India act in a similar fashion? The answer is this: for political and practical reasons. Let's begin with the practical reasons. Switzerland began the practice of sharing data of account holders only recently. And that too only in suspicious cases. Only when a government submits evidence about financial and tax-related wrongdoing of these clients. That's when they get the names. Protection of the client's privacy was something that the bank prided on. But now there is a global automatic information exchange. Switzerland believes that this exchange will bring transparency. Now let's come to the political reasons. The government did not persuade the Swiss National Bank in the past to share this data. Sure, they spoke about eliminating black money, but words were not backed up with action until very recently. There could be many reasons for it. One, high-profile account holders could be major players in the Indian economy, and the government may have slow-pedaled on these cases. They may have been worried that hurting big industry will hurt the economy. That is one assessment. The second is this: there were no treaties to share such sensitive data. Over the last 5 years, the Modi government has brought in these treaties. A good example is the Double Taxation Avoidance Treaty between India and Mauritius to avoid tax evasion. If the government manages to bring black money back from the Swiss bank, or at least hold the account holders answerable, then it will be a major victory. Since his election in 2014, Prime Minister Modi has brought in a host of schemes against black money, from the Black Money and Imposition of Tax Act in 2015 to the demonetization drive to the identification of shell companies and the Benami Prohibition Act. Targeting black money has been a prime area of focus. Now, with the government showing some political will, the noose is indeed tightening on the dodgy clients of the Swiss bank, and that is a step in the right direction, we say. Meanwhile, tensions between junior doctors and the West Bengal government are simmering. The junior doctors have called off their strike. This comes after their protests had triggered a pan-India movement. A medical intern was brutally attacked, following which junior doctors in the state went on a strike. First, the TMC government tried to brazen it out. Mamata Banerjee had issued an ultimatum. She asked doctors to end their strike. It did not work. The junior doctors defied the West Bengal Chief Minister. After the Calcutta court pulled up the state government last week, they decided to finally listen to the concerns of these doctors. Mamata Banerjee held a meeting with the representatives of junior doctors. They told the Chief Minister that they felt scared at work. They demanded exemplary punishment for those who assault doctors. After a word of assurance, two major decisions were taken. First, Mamata Banerjee has directed the State Police Commissioner to deploy a nodal officer at every hospital. And second, she accepted a proposal to set up a grievance redressal cell in hospitals. Despite these decisions, it is not yet clear if the doctors in West Bengal have ended their strike. So far, they'd refused to meet Mamata Banerjee for talks, but on Sunday, they softened their position. A spokesperson said that doctors were keen to end the impasse. They had demanded that any meeting with Chief Minister must happen in the presence of the media and not behind closed doors. But the protests in West Bengal triggered a nationwide movement. Today, the Indian Medical Association has called for a nationwide strike, while several OPDs remain shut. That's outpatient departments. There were no reports of disruption in the emergency services. The doctors are demanding a new law, in fact, from the central government, one that checks violence against healthcare workers in hospitals across the country. This is an idea that the Union Health Minister Harshvardhan has also supported. Last week, he had asked the government to pass a law that makes attacks on doctors a non-bailable offence. The Health Minister indicated that the government might push for such a law in this session of Parliament itself.
We had a meeting with the Union Health Minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, and this time we are really hopeful because our Union Health Minister is a doctor himself. He promised that he will write a letter to all the chief ministers of all the states and all the health ministers of India, and he said, and he started working over that thing. He started bringing in the same Central Security Act law which is in place in various other countries.
These protests have now reached the doorstep of the Supreme Court. Today, the Apex Court agreed to hear a PIL seeking security for doctors at government hospitals across India. The PIL was filed on Friday. The court will hear this case on Tuesday. Turns out it's the echo chambers to blame. I'm talking about the performance of the Congress party in the Lok Sabha election. At the center of this story is the head of data analytics of the Congress, a person called Praveen Chakravarti. The former investment banker spearheaded the data project of the Congress. It's called Shakti. So what is Shakti? And why did it fail to read the Modi wave? After all, understanding trends from data is the job of the data analytics team. Reports say that the data team became an echo chamber. It told Rahul Gandhi precisely what he wanted to hear, not necessarily what was true. Project Shakti was aimed to link voter IDs to party workers with their mobile numbers. Now, this was intended to convert the party from a volunteer-based one to a cadre-based one. In essence, Project Shakti wanted to make the communication between the top brass and the workers effective. It didn't. The team is facing 4 questions over its credibility. 1, the quality of data they provided. 2, people worked in silos, meaning they were away from the ground reality. 3, the dodgy feedback given to the decision makers. And 4, the lack of oversight on Shakti. The data mess, that is Project Shakti, wasn't just identified after the election results. This was a disaster that was waiting to happen. There were question marks on the enrollments made under the scheme even during the Karnataka Assembly election. But not only did the Congress party overlook the problem of fake data, it invested more money on Project Shakti. Such a model of enrolling workers through text messages is a huge risk. There is absolutely no back end to verify if these are indeed workers of the party. In fact, reports say that in Telangana, voters had no clue that they were enrolled for Project Shakti. Praveen Chakravarti and his team have also allegedly not shared the data with the social media team of the Congress party, but the Congress trusted the team. It used Shakti for on-ground surveys. Since the enrollments were dodgy, those surveys were also dodgy. Rahul Gandhi remained completely unaware about all of this. The top brass of the Congress believed these surveys, believed the number of new enrollments that these surveys projected. It's as much the data team as if the data team was not answering any higher authority. What does it say about the party? It's far away from the ground reality, it seems. It does not introspect its own findings, and what's worse, it believes and promotes echo chambers. With such glaring loopholes, Rahul Gandhi believed that the party will be winning anywhere between 164 and 184 seats in this election. Reports say that the Congress even planned to mobilize 10,000 people to celebrate the exit of the BJP. Never came to that. Such is the naivety of the Congress party and its top leaders, it seems. Now, Praveen Chakravarti calls the articles on data analytics department, quote-unquote, a piece of gossip, lie, mischievous, defamatory, patently absurd, a disgrace to Indian journalism. These are strong words, and these are the words that he's used. He says that he is not hidden away, and the data department is still functional. Fair enough. We just want to remind the Congress party that their functional data department missed the most important data of this election, the silent Modi wave. The Congress may want to have a data team that considers data sacrosanct, not some club of yes men, which will never speak the truth to the powers that be. At least that seems the case here. It's a fact that the BJP decimated the Congress on the 23rd of May. It also seems like a fact that the Congress listened to itself and failed to turn up for the elections. Now, it was supposed to be the mother of all battles, but it turned out to be a damp squib. India registered an emphatic win against Pakistan at the ICC World Cup on Sunday, but the comfortable victory for the men in blue has left the fans of the Pakistani team shattered. High on emotions, the dejected fans did not hold anything back on social media. Here are some of the best reactions.
Over 1 billion plus audience. Tickets selling at over 10 times the face value. They call India versus Pakistan the mother of all battles. They can now also call it a damp squib. Pakistan's 7th straight defeat to India at World Cups predictably didn't go down well. Television screens were the first to take a beating. The lack of a dietitian in the Pakistani team was pointed out rather emotionally.
मैं आपको बताऊं, मुझे पता चला कल रात ये लोग बर्गर खाते रहे, कल रात ये लोग पिज़्ज़ा खाते रहे, इन्होंने क्रिकेट छुड़ाओ तो दंगल लड़वाओ.
The delicacies in the Pakistani cuisine were advertised rather prominently. Internet users are rather well read. Even the IMF got drawn into the post-mortem. The fault, like all India-Pakistan disputes, was due to partition. Special scorn was reserved for Captain Sarfraz Ahmed, who didn't get the intensity of the clash. You can't keep ex-players out of it, can you? Especially when you have the Rawalpindi Express himself, Shoaib Akhtar, sending down thunderbolts.
Management at his fault right now, because I think the management को भी नहीं पता. Sarfraz is clueless, और दूसरा Mickey Arthur is just it's really disappointing कि मिकी आर्थर जैसा बंदा बैठा हुआ है वहां पे और उसको पता ही काक नहीं, हंसता रहता है या गुस्सा कर लेता है.
Pakistan's 1992 World Cup winning captain Imran Khan is now the Prime Minister. Can he sort the mess out? Well, is anyone listening? And finally, the last word to former captain Shoaib Malik. If a golden duck wasn't enough, his marriage to Indian tennis star Sania Mirza sure marked him out for some rather below-the-belt blows. India may have won the match. Pakistani fans sure did win the social media battle. Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.
On that note, it's a wrap on this edition of India Watch. Thanks very much for joining us.